what do you take with you aside from signage, and what do you leave on display at the open houses? We're going to go ahead and start with Brandy Simon, Chicago North Shore.
So I love open houses, but I think part of the opportunity that an open house presents to you is to be that local expert. So when I'm in my community, when I'm in an area that I'm farming, I want to make sure, because I get a lot of people who'll be coming from, Chicago, where Neil is, moving up to the North Shore for the first time. They don't understand that we don't have the same kind of public transportation. So a local Metro train schedule is really important for them to have. It identifies which line they're going to be taking and gives them a schedule for transportation. One of the other things that's really helpful for our area is a comparison of taxes versus private school tuition. So I run the taxes on the house in comparison to private school tuition to let them know what value this home has in addition to the private school. In Chicago, private schools can range anywhere from $30,000 up to $47,000 for kindergarten. Our taxes on the North Shore can be anywhere from $25,000 up to $100,000. So it's pretty impactful in the number that they can see in savings.
Wow, good stuff. Great information. It's always good to be the local expert, definitely, because also some of these buyers are sellers and they're like, you know what? Brandy Simon, Chicago North Shore, she knows her stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're going to jump along to Neil. We're going to stay in that region right now. Neil, what is it that you take and leave on display at open houses?
So, some of these are the basics I think that all of us take, but my list is, I'll take open house door signs. That way, my information is always there. So even if somebody wants to take a pic or something like that, they can do that. I put that up in a couple different places, and I have a little, the EV brand, and also remove your shoes, when people come in, brochures, floor plans. I also do an additional information sheet, just because a lot of times, like the MLS sheet, I find that they're a little confusing to some people that are not used to seeing them all the time. The additional information sheet, especially with condos here, single families, all the people and the brokers, they're asking the same questions, right? So like, why not just give them that information up front, and it makes everybody's life 10 times easier. And so the age of the appliances, windows, mechanicals, anything going on in the condo association, like all those basics is good. I also have the MLS sheet, GG magazine. I really like we have a 2-page like EV location. So it shows locations around the country and around the world. I keep that displayed because it's also another conversational point with people. And then sign-in sheets.
All right, good stuff. How about Virginia? What are you doing down in Tampa downtown? What are you doing? What are you bringing into that open house?
So I'm going to try to keep this short because we actually bring a lot. I have found that I get a great turnover on open houses. I'm usually able to capture my buyers. So we bring all the same stuff, GG's, little goodie bags that are branded. But the main thing that I've noticed that has helped me sell, and probably because the properties that I do are large acreage, so they involve like septic tanks and wells. And so what we do is we'll bring brochures, and I keep them when I feel like someone's really interested or actually a buyer. It has helped me get listings and also double side the deal. So we have a list of what's in the brochure, and I have had people at open houses with 20 plus units of traffic, and they've purchased the property because of the brochure. And just like Neil was saying, we give you everything: floor plan, MLS synopsis. We give you a feature list that's approved by the seller prior to us putting it in there. We do a distance sheet because where I sell my farm is kind of rural. So a lot of people think we're so far out there, but really we're not. So I educate them about the convenience of the location of the actual house. So I liked what Brandy said, but we actually zero it down because I get a lot of, where's the Publix, right? Where's the movie theater? And it's quite a drive for our farm area. So we give them the distance sheet, the feature list, the seller's property disclosures, all disclosures, the survey. We also document where the AC is, the well and the septic tank are, a mortgage quote, an insurance quote, and the tax bill. So we put these together before, and I have lenders and insurance agents that as soon as we get a listing, we send it over to them and they spit everything back out. That way, when the buyer's there, if they want it, I don't want them to go home. I mean, they can get on their phone and search how far they are from everything. But what I tell them is, we all spend enough time looking at the screen of our phone. So I like to make it simple, stupid, right? They get in the car, the wife liked it, and instead of having to scroll and search and then they just get distracted, it's right there in writing, printed for them, where all the major things that anybody would want to know is. So that's what our brochure looks like. But that's been the single most powerful thing that we bring.
I love it. Super prepared. And that really says a lot about you as a professional too, when somebody's walking in the door and they see that. Now that's the difference between an advisor and an agent, right? So we're prepared. We know our stuff. Good stuff. I love that. Okay. Joe, Gilmour, Utah, is there anything that outside of what was discussed that you're taking in?
You know, I love all the stuff that they that everybody has mentioned. I mean, I'm a little bit more old school because I'm more about, I want to get leads and get into conversation. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll have some, you know, I would recommend having, you know, information, GG, that kind of stuff. That's awesome. But I will actually print out things about schools, parks, restaurants, and those types of things. And I leave them on the beds and in the bathrooms in that area. One of the other things that I really like to do is I like to set up a board in an adjacent room to where I'm standing with 6 different comparable sales that are out there on the market. I consider that like the bullpen, because what I actually want to do is I want to engage in a person that I know does not have an agent, okay? But yet at the same time, give them all my attention, but allow somebody else to have something else to do while I'm having this conversation. So I believe personally, and this is no disrespect to anybody, I just believe that the questions you ask and the way you set things up is more. I don't want any type of distraction, okay? I want to be able to bring people in and have conversations because I don't want to give people anything that already have agents. So I'll explain more later on, like the questions that I asked during the open houses that has been able to give me some amazing results. I love our brand, and to make it as, you know, color as nice as you possibly can. I personally do that just because I have found that if I give people something to do and they can actually look at really good material, they hang around until I'm done talking to this other person I'm engaged with.
That's very, very, very smart. I want to quickly suggest one thing that Joe Fazio, or my other licensed partner here, my business partner in Rhode Island, does, and it's brilliant. He actually gets the white book, the hardcover white book. He puts in everything and anything for information that we have on that listing and leaves it there. When people come in and they look and flip through it, the disclosures are there, the floor plans are there, the pre-inspection is there, everything is in there. And then what this cannibal does is he gives it to the buyers at the closing. And guess whose information is on there? And it's a guide. It's a nice thing, right? And his info is very small on there. It's professional, but guess what happens when they're going to sell that house? And it all starts with, at the open house, he has that on there and he only gives that to the buyer.